Hello everyone, it's me again, Amani AbouAmmo, but today I'm talking as Encina and essential oil holistic medicine consultant. Today I'm not talking about essential oils as essential oils, I'm just talking about it more like in relation with Arabs. How? There is a big relation. Let me first go back to 20 years ago when I was in a college and I had this presentation. It was very selective for everyone to select their subject, and I chose ancient Egyptians. It has always been my passion to talk about pharaohs, let's say. Now the thing is, I chose a very specific subject about the pharaohs, and it was the mummification process, how they used to mummify the bodies and the whole process, their belief in the afterlife, getting all those valuable stuff with the dead body in that tomb, end up keeping their precious stuff, having the spell here and then the arms on the spell to keep the body safe during that journey to the afterlife. But there's a very, very important part here, the body itself. It has always been very interesting for me that how could they keep the body in that state? It's so clear, like thousands of years? How? And that's the key. Back then I knew that they would just bring out those organisms like the liver, the kidneys, the heart, stuff like that, and just put them in a jar, like every part in its own jar, fill it up with other balsamic vinegar and other stuff, and just put these jars with the body, and just to go with the body to the afterlife. And then once the body is there, they're expecting it to take all those body parts, put them back, put their jewelry, and then go back to the afterlife thing. But 20 years ago, there's no information about what that substance was that they would use. Today, I'm telling you they were using essential oils. And that's the key here. 4,500 years ago, pharaohs were the first people to use essential oils that come from plants. That's a big thing. Before I go into that, essential oils, the word essential here does not mean essential or crucial, important, stuff like that. Some people will literally translate it into Arabic, which is asasiya, and it's not true. Essential oil here means the essence of the plant. And how? It's actually not oil. It's not a fatty oil. It's actually kind of water type of thing. And the way of distillation is completely different than making any other oil. And we're going to talk about it shortly. Now, ancient Egyptians used the essential oils as their perfumes, their body care, skin care, home cleaning products, and again, the mummification. And in their mummification, they used the essential oils in the jars to keep the body parts in a good shape. They applied essential oils on the linen of the mummification process to keep it out of odor, the body itself, so they would avoid any odor on the body when, after a period of time. The queen, Nefertiti, used to use some essential oils for her beauty, and she has always been known for her beauty back then, and her reputation about that. So she was a big user of essential oil, and mainly geranium essential oil. It's a rose. In the mummification process, they use cedarwood essential oil, and it also has those properties of that they fight mold, and they're really, really strong against even any type of fungus and stuff. Now, after talking about the ancient Egyptians and their huge thing, because if I start talking about the ancient Egyptians, I wouldn't stop. I just enjoy this part of, the talk. Now let's go to Ibn Sina. I'm sure that we all know about Ibn Sina, but who knew that Ibn Sina is the first person that came up with this very clear process of distillation of the essential oils? I mean, for me, when I started learning and getting those certificates online for the essential oils, I was very amazed about the knowledge and about those information coming in the background of how they make this essential oils. And it's a big, big, big process. And it's really interesting. But then when I knew it was Encina, I was like, oh my god, that's a big thing. So we have pretty much a lot of stuff to talk about. Like, we always have something. We have always been leaders. Ancient Egyptians have always been leaders in tons of stuff. And I'm so amazed to talk about this. Now go back to the essential oils. Why do they do? And why are they so expensive? The essential oils are not made like other oils. Some, those stores that sell the oils, like in Arabic we say attar, or we say dabous. These stores make it in a different way. So what they do usually is they would just put this big jar of oil, whatsoever the oil is, and they just put inside of that plant or whatsoever they want to bring the flavor and the smell, and then they just keep it inside that oil for some time, and then they just bring it out, squeeze, get the oil out of it, and it will have the aroma. That's not the way. Or that's not essential oil. So just to make it clear, essential oil again is the essence of the plant, and the way we make it is actually by having this very, very big jar, let's say, container, and we just put the tons of plant inside it, and then we have this small container of water, and start evaporates. So the vapor of the water go to the plant, and then the plant starts getting the oil out of it through those pipes, and then go all the way to the other side, come up as essential oil. So this big amount of plants will just bring you those very small, tiny bottle, which explains why the essential oil is expensive. So if I buy this big olive oil bottle, it's for like $12. I get this very small one for like the same price sometimes. That's it. What does it do? And why am I talking about essential oils now? Essential oils are considered as one of the holistic medicine. And by the word holistic, I mean whole body. So it not only will the essential oil go to a very specific place in your body, it can actually go and awaken the whole immune system to fight something that is happening in your body. I'm gonna give you an example. Like, there is something called adrenal gland. An adrenal gland is something that is above the kidneys. What it does is it produces hormones that have to do with our blood pressure, our blood sugar, the cortisol hormone, which is responsible for fight or flight, which is eventually, which leads to depression and anxiety. So if someone has those conditions, what they do, they will have to go and take medication for the blood pressure, for the blood sugar, diabetes, sometimes for depression, anxiety, all those stuff, and tons of other stuff. And I do definitely still encourage that everyone has any type of chronic illness to go with that. But the key here is you take the medication to treat the symptom itself. You're not treating the root cause. And that's what essential oil does. If I apply the right blend of essential oil on the area on your back, that is where your kidneys are, you're actually helping the adrenal glands to wake up, start doing your job. Within, let's say, like I always go with a 2-week treatment period, and that's the best period because you're giving enough time for your body to respond to the essential oil, and at the same time your body will not yet get this tolerance, so it's not building the tolerance to the essential oil, it will still respond. So 2 weeks, and if you feel like you need to repeat that treatment period, you give a break and then go back to 2 weeks, break, 2 weeks, break, whatever the problem is. Okay, so if we stick to this problem of the adrenal glands, now we started using this treatment blend and it started awakening your adrenal glands. They will start working, and at the same time you're using the medication to continue to manage your symptoms. What happens is you're managing and fixing, right? So we cannot use one way over another. Another example, I have been suffering really bad migraine, and I just ended up with like, okay, we don't know what the reason is behind your migraine, and it gets to that place where I get very nauseous and I cannot even eat, and it's really bad. I used to get this very strong medication, and it takes like 30 to 40 minutes to start working, and I definitely would get the side effects of the medication. And then that's when I first tried the peppermint oil for migraine. And literally in 3 minutes, the migraine was gone. And all I did was I just applied the essential oil on the temples, and I put some, like a couple drops in my hand, and I just did this cupping to smell. And what happened is it stopped even the nausea. 3 minutes with no side effects. And guess what? I got rid of the medication. Again, that's not a chronic thing, and I'm not encouraging anyone to get rid of your medication. But for something that is kind of over the counter, I definitely would. Now I don't have any of those side effects, and I enjoy the I enjoy the treatments. I'm good. I'm much healthier. This actually applied to even my skincare, my hair, my everything. I don't want to say that I ditched everything, all the chemicals from my body, but what I did is I actually stopped 90% of the chemicals that I've been using in my life, whether it's for cleaning, for my skincare, hair, taking care of my body, even my liver detox. Ever since I came to Seattle 6 years ago, I started having this type of allergic reaction, and I've been through tons of allergy tests and stuff. No one was able to know what was going on, and I just ended up taking this antihistamine for years with literally like probably 50% effect on my allergy. However, all the side effects were horrible, and still nothing was known. Like nothing was known of why I've been experiencing this. Okay, when I go out in the sun, where I go out to the street where there is plants, I would experience this very bad itchy, like I got my skin red, irritated, and it will just take me days before I become better. So of course for me, summer, I love summer of Seattle. However, it would be just a nightmare. I came across one of those medical articles about the liver and what happens, or the clear signs of the liver is not doing its work in detoxifying your blood. And guess what? That's what I've been experiencing. No one was able to tell why I was having this. I don't want to say that I came up with this diagnosis to myself, but I gave it a try. Like, what's going to happen? If it's the liver and if it just needs a detox, let's do it. What I did is I made my blend, and I started applying the blend on the liver area, on my abdomen, for 2 weeks. I didn't even wait for 2 weeks. It took me 4 days for the whole symptoms to stop. I haven't even been taking my antihistamine for several months now, and I don't get it anyway. Now, another key here is if your liver is not working well, your body is not doing the right job to detox. You're getting all the toxins, your medication, the chemicals of your, cleaning products, everything. I mean, if I tell you now that your essential oils, when you apply them, they get absorbed in your skin within 2 minutes and they get through your bloodstream within 20 minutes. Can you believe what happens when you apply those chemicals on your body? Whether it's fragrances, perfumes, shampoo, facial cream, like any kind of product that you apply directly on your body, or the cleaning products that we always smell when we are cleaning, like Clorox and stuff like that. I've always been like really bad with this type of stuff. These are all going to your liver, and your liver continues to detox, and it just gets really exhausted. And so even if you start taking those supplements to help, like I'm getting the B12 and I'm not feeling any good, I always feel so tired, I'm so sleepy, your liver needs some support. Do the detox, and it's all about tea tree oil diluted in any carrier that you have, whether it's olive oil, whether it's coconut oil. Just do the tea tree oil, like 3 drops in your hand with a carrier, apply it on your liver, do it for 2 continuous weeks, and that's it. Do a journal. Write down what you have, what you've been experiencing. Even if you have those kind of maybe like around your face, if you have those pimples, maybe any type of skin irritation, just write down those symptoms and then start journaling every day with any change, and see the amazing effect of this on your body itself, on the whole thing, on everything in your body. If you think about these in like very, very short and clear examples, You can imagine more on tons of stuff. Essential oils have no limitation. They have maybe millions of stuff, millions of uses and effects. And let me tell you one more thing. Oregano essential oil, there is no study that tells that it can fight COVID specifically. But oregano has been tested medically on almost all the strains of bacterial infections and viral infections, and it was able to kill all. And how? Whether you apply the oregano, it's very strong. So we apply the oregano like this the 1% dilution ratio on your abdomen, and it always goes through the whole body and clears it out of anything. Or if you can tolerate it, if it's a really pure essential oil and you can trust the maker, then you can apply 1 drop in a whole like big thing of food, salad, food, and it's not like you cook it on the stove because it will not continue its effect. It has to be on a cool, or maybe just not on a stove. So, and again, deal with oregano as antibiotic, or just ask me a question whenever you feel like, and I can definitely answer your questions. I have my website and it has more information about how to use essential oils. You can always text me on my page, Emila, on my social media accounts. I'm gonna have them in my description. And think again of why our ancestors have always been so healthy and why we are being so weak and vulnerable now. And enjoy being healthy. Learn how to be green. Thank you, and enjoy being Arab.